We are in Jacksonville, Oregon, home of the Britt Festival Orchestra, and we're actually here with the Violent Femmes tonight. They're headlining. They just came off of a few sold-out shows in Seattle and Portland, and we're here with Brian, the bassist.
That's right.
And we're so happy that you've taken the time to speak with us before your show.
My pleasure.
Very cool. Well, we have been doing a little research about the Violent Femmes.
There's a lot of research to do, you know. The thing has been going for so long.
That's right.
You know, I just ate at a restaurant tonight, and the guy said, I've been owning this restaurant for 42 years. Like he was trying to impress me. And I said, well, you know, we're only 4 years behind you because we've been running the band for 38 years.
Oh.
And he says, yeah, but you're not one of the original members.
Ouch.
And I said, well, no, that's a compliment because it's his way of saying there's no way, because he was looking at me,
yeah, like you're way
and he was
too
thinking
young.
that I'm not even 38 years old. So,
That's
but he looked a lot older than me, so I can understand why he might feel that way.
Yeah, so I thought it has been 35 years since the debut album. Is that right?
35 years since the release of the first album.
Yeah. And I just read that in 2013, were you there for the Coachella reunion?
I was there for every one of our gigs.
Every one of
Yeah,
our
I'm the only.
gigs. Okay.
I'm actually the only person who's been at every gig.
Wow. Well,
And I can tell you a story about that too. I was at a sushi bar in LA, and I sat down at the bar. I was the first customer into the place, and I just ordered my food, and suddenly on the sound system came Blister in the Sun. And I was like, oh, maybe they're trying to honor me, but maybe they don't know anything. Then the next song was Kiss Off, which is, of course, the second song on our album. And then the third song came out, and finally I just called the waitress over and I said, would you mind taking this music off? Don't you like the Violent Femmes? I said, no, I love Violent Femmes. In fact, I've been at every one of their gigs.
and she just had no idea that you were in the band.
And she thought I was an idiot. And she was right.
Oh my goodness. So, how old was she? And what year was this?
Well, this all happened about 20 years ago, and at that time, she was probably 25 or something like that.
Okay. Would you say that's the average age of most of your fans?
Well, actually, one of the great things about the Femmes is that we have an incredibly wide demographic at this point. For a long time, we were losing fans and gaining young fans. So it was, the band kept getting older. It was like Picture of Dorian Gray. You know, we kept getting older, but the fans stayed exactly the same. Now, instead, we have new young fans all the time, but we have the older fans are growing up with us. So tonight you'll probably see people in their teens all the way through to people in their 60s.
How are you reaching people in their teens?
I think it's word of mouth. Some of the songs, especially the ones that were on the first album,
Yeah.
epitomize the teenage mindset more than almost any songs or even work of literature that you can imagine, or a film or anything. It's just like, this is what I'm told by the kids that are still getting into it. But
Yeah.
it's quite gratifying, you know. Like it's not unusual that I would be stopped on the street by, for example, a 14-year-old girl who says, oh my God, I can't believe I'm meeting you now. I started playing bass because of you. And I'm just thinking, okay, here's a 14-year-old girl, and this has happened many times actually, and they're still being inspired by what we do. That's great. It makes me want to continue.
I mean, I think what you guys have accomplished is what most artists dream of, right? A multi-generational audience. You're continuing to inspire people to pick up instruments and music.
Well, we didn't aspire to that actually, because we didn't think it would last. So when you start out, you think, oh, we want to be cool. We didn't even care about making money or being famous or any of that stuff. We just wanted to be cool, because we actually didn't think that we would become famous or successful.
Or cool.
It didn't seem likely, but one thing led to another, and here we are 38 years later.
And so, do you guys do any other musical projects on the side outside of this? I know you're probably touring a lot of the year, but...
Well, I'm the music curator at a museum in Australia called the Museum of Old and New Art. And in that role, I run festivals, 2 or 3 festivals a year, and also over 100 musical events at the museum during the course of the year. I play with the Australian Chamber Orchestra and tour with them internationally. I'm a shakuhachi, Japanese bamboo flute teacher and performer. Gordon, he is playing violin a lot. He plays in a chamber orchestra as well, and he plays with other bands and produces albums. John, the drummer, he lives in Milwaukee, and he's playing with other bands in Milwaukee. And Blaze, the saxophone player, he's with me down in Australia and also works at the museum and does a lot of different things. So he's going to be playing with a circus in a couple months. So you could say that we have a pretty wide range of interests musically.
So. Yeah, actually, one of the questions we've been wanting to ask artists that we meet with is what kind of like orchestral or chamber music influence, if any, have you had in your life? I know a few of you do chamber music. We actually have, this festival got started through a chamber orchestra that now has grown into a 90-plus orchestral ensemble, and we do it for 3 weeks every year. This year there's 7 concerts, and we commission new music. We play a lot of new music, like Mason Bates stuff.
Wow.
And then obviously some old favorites, but this theme for this year is Bernstein Centennial, which I'm sure you've heard about.
Well, we actually just did 2 concerts down in Tasmania in Australia with the Tasmanian Symphony Orchestra. So we had a wide range of our material scored by one of the members of the orchestra who also plays with us in our horn section, the Horns of Dilemma. So he's familiar with both organizations, so he was able to get on that wavelength.
Yeah.
And so it was the first time we did shows with an orchestra, and we've recorded it, and we'll be releasing an album with that, so maybe we can come back here and play with one of your orchestras.
Yes, that would be so cool.
Yeah, I mean, if the festival likes the Femmes and is based on orchestral work, then maybe we have to come back.
I think you might have to, yeah. Well, we'll let you go. You go on tonight at 8:30, and we're so excited to have you here in Jacksonville, Oregon, and we wish you luck on the rest of your West Coast tour, this leg of the tour, and wherever else you're going, Texas, I saw. But
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having us here.